Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video, we're going to review round 1 of the 2026 NRL Fantasy season. So, an okay start for myself, particularly given the disaster that was NRL Supercoach. If you haven't yet done so, please go watch that video, even if it is just out of pity. But this week in fantasy, we scored a 916, which is about 22,000th overall. So good spot. Obviously got a bit of cash in the bank. Got a couple of trades, but can't access them yet thanks to NRL Fantasy taking a bit of time to do its thing. So we'll do our best to talk it up, but I won't be able to see anyone's teams to sort of shout you out. We'll look at the points and all, but that's the best I can do, unfortunately, at this point in time. Reed Marnie we talked about last week. So Payne Haas is captain, also scored a 56, matching Marnie. So solid. Obviously, if that's his floor, we're not too worried. Dave Fafita with a 37. Shot himself in the foot with a little sin bin action late on. But yeah, I guess we're not going to panic and trade him out, even though there is a bunch of edges that are a lot cheaper that scored a lot more in round 1. Kale Iro, unfortunately, didn't see much of the ball in a 50-point effort from the Sharks. So 34. Especially hurts, like I was tossing up the idea of a late change to Moses Leo and banking a whole heap of cash. But, didn't have the guts to pull the trigger, and it ended up working out as bad for me as it could have. Fayamani with the 31 was okay. Cleary with the 57, Yo with the 52. So rock solid. Wanted a little bit more given the price, but we'll take it. So yeah, ended up getting Lukey and Couchman scores, which were great. Couchman getting dropped down a couple to 58, but that's fine. We could have played Sanders and got a 58 as well, so it wasn't the biggest move in the end to have Brandon Smith. Obviously, if we got in one of those other cheapies that scored even more, it could have been even better. But how we don't know. And speaking of how, Arama Howe, 39, definitely you look at the other edges and you think, oh, it's a bit behind, but I'll take 39 from a starting pick any day of the week. So we'll have a look at the leagues. So in the first league, got done by Sean Haas, the 935. I can't actually go in and see the scores though. So, yep, unlucky. But I can see 997 was the top score. No fork and chance, Andy's team. And shout out to Liam, another strong start to the year, 990. And still lost your head-to-head matchup. That is stiff champion. But some great scoring there. And then in the second league, I finally had a win this season. So Pop 03, Robert's team, he's gone away from Zip Zip maybe with an 830 to start the season. But shout out to Critterbug, Matt's team, with a 971 to begin. Also, Sonny subscribed to his OnlyFins with a 965. Great start there as well. Not that I know who you picked, but we'll work it out in due course. So yeah, I can't really do trades and stuff at the moment, but if we order it by average, you can see the top scorers this week. So Damien Cook, Nico Hines, Kalen Ponga, top 3. Noel Martin, 4th with his 80-point return. So I think he is a definite trade in this week, alongside Lasardi from the Storm, who scored a 74. In terms of who I trade out, probably makes sense to just trade out Brandon Smith, given that he's not going to be playing this week. Yeah, obviously I could have traded these guys in and done all right out of it, but who was to know? And the other one that I'm thinking about trading out is Dylan Brown. So And I guess the justification is just looking at the rest of my squad. Like I've still got Cleary, Atkinson, Sanders in the halves. So and Atkinson and Sanders do look like they are the dominant halves. Whereas Dylan Brown, I'm not 100% sure. Like Kalen Ponga's getting involved. Obviously, Sanders Smith playing this week. Um, so I think he's the one that we can sacrifice. Like maybe Hamish Stewart is 43 enough, but we don't have the most amount of cover in the middles. Like we could move Cowtron up with all the edges we've got. Um, so yeah, it could be Brown or Stewart for that second one. It could be both as well. We might just hang on to Smith as a value option when he does come back. But um, yeah, it's going to be something like that. But I am thinking Lasardi and Martin just off the back of their workload. Like obviously, Chan scored well too as another cheapie, but and Leo. But I think that was more based on their attacking output, which against Parramatta was not that hard. Let's be honest. Like Joe Chan went over completely untouched. Um, I can't remember Leo's attacking output. Obviously, it would be great if I had him in the team. Again, Kale Ero looking at you. Um, but not going to lose any sleep. I think maybe if Makasini doesn't actually get a spot, Leo will come in because we have to, cover Kiraz this week. Um, so yeah, that's the alternative. But we've got team lists on Tuesday. We'll do a video on Thursday before the first game to go through trades, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we'll wrap this one up here. So as always, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the NRL fantasy content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.